All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into the world of blockchain nodes.
Yeah, your source material definitely piqued our curiosity on this one.
It's like we've got a pile of cryptic messages,
Yep.
and we need to crack the code to understand these unsung heroes of the decentralized world.
Which is honestly a pretty great way to think about blockchain in the first place.
Totally. But before we get lost in the weeds, let's make sure we're all on the same page about what blockchain actually is.
It's more than just Bitcoin, right?
Way more. It's like, think about the invention of the internet, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, years later, realizing you could order a pizza online with it.
Okay, I'm with you.
One of our sources describes it as this wild digital city with no single ruler, where everyone has a copy of the city records.
Ah, decentralization. That's the beauty. No single point of failure makes it incredibly secure.
So instead of one bank or, like, the government calling all the shots.
It's a collective effort.
Right. Every transaction is, what's the word?
Immutable.
Yes. Etched in digital stone. No changing it.
Precisely.
Okay, so that brings us to the million-dollar question. How does this tamper-proof system actually work? Who are these guardians of the blockchain?
That's where our friends, the blockchain nodes, come in.
Okay, so let's unmask these nodes. What are they? Like, what makes them so special?
In the simplest terms, a blockchain node is an individual computer or device that holds a copy of the blockchain, that city record we talked about.
So if the blockchain is like this massive, like, Library of Congress, then each node has a full set of encyclopedias.
That's actually a great way to put it. But they're more than just passive book holders.
They're more like librarians who moonlight as expert detectives,
Right.
Making sure all the books are in order and no one's sneaking in a fake.
You got it. They verify transactions to make sure everything is running smoothly and securely. And no single node has all the power. Another layer of security.
Team effort. Got it.
Right.
So I'm guessing there are different types of nodes, each with their own specialty.
Absolutely. And your source material actually does a great job of breaking down these node personalities, you could say.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What kind of characters are we talking about here?
First up, we have the full node. Picture it like the meticulous librarian, tirelessly verifying every single detail, making sure every book in that blockchain library is in its rightful place.
Sounds like a lot of responsibility. They must need a serious caffeine supply.
They do, but their dedication is what keeps the entire network in sync and secure. They're the backbone of the system.
The guardians of accuracy. Got it. Then we have
The light node. Think of them like those savvy researchers, you know? They might not have the entire blockchain library memorized.
Right.
But they know how to find the info they need quickly.
So they're like the master detectives who can just walk into a library, immediately spot that one clue that cracks the case wide open.
Exactly. And they're great for like everyday users who want to interact with the blockchain without needing a hard drive the size of a car.
Okay, makes sense. Full nodes for accuracy, light nodes for efficiency. Gotcha. What other characters are in this blockchain mystery novel?
That brings us to the mining node. They're the ones actually adding new blocks of transactions to the blockchain.
So if the full nodes are librarians and the light nodes are researchers, are the mining nodes, like the construction crew, building the library itself?
Love that analogy. They're competing to solve these super complex cryptographic puzzles.
Okay, so more like a digital treasure hunt then.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
And the first one to find the solution adds the next block to the chain.
And gets a reward, I'm guessing.
Ding, ding, ding. Newly minted cryptocurrency. It's kind of a big deal.
That's why everyone's trying to get in on the mining game, right?
You got it.
Okay, so this is where I need your expert detective skills. Let's say I finally buy that vintage record online with Bitcoin.
Okay.
How does the transaction actually work with all these nodes? Walk me through it.
Picture this. You hit buy in your transaction request. It's broadcast instantly to the entire network of nodes, like a news flash.
Breaking news. Host speaker is about to become the proud owner of that rare vinyl.
And every single node is on the case, verifying you've got enough Bitcoin that you haven't already spent it elsewhere.
No double spending allowed.
Exactly. They also check your digital signature, like a fingerprint, to make sure it's really you authorizing the transaction.
Okay, so it's secure, transparent, crazy efficient. What happens next? The mining nodes swoop in.
You know it. They bundle up a whole bunch of verified transactions, yours included, into a new block. But they can't just add any block. They have to solve that cryptographic puzzle first.
Right. The treasure hunt.
Yep. And once that block is added to the chain, it's there for good. Your transaction, all the others in that block, they become a permanent part of blockchain history.
Each block is like a chapter in the never-ending story of blockchain.
And your transaction is a crucial sentence in that chapter. It's honestly amazing when you think about it, all thanks to these nodes working behind the scenes.
It really is. It's like this whole hidden world powering a revolution.
And we're just getting started. You know, your sources go way beyond just cryptocurrency, talking about how this node-powered system can be used for everything. Supply chains, healthcare.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Give me some real-world examples.
Imagine this. You could track your vintage vinyl every step of the way, from the cellar to your doorstep, knowing with absolute certainty it's the real deal.
Wait, for real? No more wondering if that limited edition pressing is legit.
Exactly. Every step of the journey is recorded and verified on the blockchain, making it more transparent and accountable than ever before.
No more lost packages, no more fake goods?
Yeah.
That's incredible. What about healthcare? How could nodes shake things up there?
Imagine a world where your medical records are secure, they can't be tampered with, and they're only accessible to people you authorize.
So no more of that carrying around those bulky files or worrying about your information getting into the wrong hands.
You got it. Your health data safe and sound on the blockchain, encrypted, and only accessible with your permission.
Okay, this is mind-blowing. We're talking about changing entire industries here.
And we're just scratching the surface. This technology could transform voting, how we protect intellectual property, even just like verifying our identities online.
It sounds like we're on the verge of a digital renaissance. And these nodes are the artists, the builders, the architects, all rolled into one.
And as with any renaissance, we've got some challenges. Scalability, regulation, making sure everyone has access to this technology.
It's like we're watching history unfold in real time. What does the future hold for these nodes as they, evolve and adapt to these challenges?
It's a question that has experts and enthusiasts buzzing with anticipation.
Well, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind a little bit. We've talked about all these different nodes, but what about how they actually reach a consensus?
Ah, yes. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of blockchain technology.
Okay, consensus mechanisms. Sounds kind of technical, but I'm ready. Hit me.
It's actually pretty straightforward. Remember we were talking about those mining nodes, how they solve puzzles to add blocks to the blockchain?
Yeah, like a digital sweat-off to see who gets to update the ledger.
Exactly. That's one way to achieve consensus. It's called proof of work. But your sources bring up a good point. It can be really energy-intensive.
Right, I've heard about that.
That's where proof of stake comes in. Different consensus mechanism gaining a lot of traction.
So proof of stake is like a greener way to keep things running.
You got it. Instead of all that computing power, proof of stake is more like putting down a security deposit, but with your cryptocurrency.
Interesting. So less about showing off your computer's muscles and more about, showing you actually have skin in the game.
Precisely. More cryptocurrency you stake, the higher your chances of being chosen to validate transactions, earn rewards.
Okay, so the blockchain is becoming more sustainable and efficient. Makes sense.
Right. And what's cool is that this shift to proof of stake, it's changing the role of the nodes themselves.
Oh, how so?
Well, in a proof of stake system, nodes aren't just verifying transactions anymore.
Or not.
They're active participants now, maintaining the network's security, its integrity.
Huh. So they're taking on even more responsibility to keep that digital city safe and sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because their stake is on the line, they're incentivized to act in the best interests of the entire blockchain.
That's actually really clever. Align the incentives, create a more secure system. Love it.
Right. And this is just one example of how node technology is evolving. Your sources hinted at other stuff too, like sharding. Basically, you break the blockchain down into smaller pieces.
To make it faster.
Exactly. More efficient. It's crucial because as blockchain grows beyond cryptocurrency, well, we need nodes that can handle all that traffic.
It's like we zoomed out, and now we're seeing this massive interconnected network, and the nodes are those crucial points of contact.
And the craziest part, we're still in the early days. Like, we've discovered this new continent just starting to explore its potential.
I know, it's exciting, but also a little overwhelming,
The best thing you can do is stay curious, keep learning, asking questions, and don't be afraid to dig deeper into whatever really grabs your attention.
Solid advice. I gotta say, this whole deep dive into blockchain nodes has been a wild ride.
It's a journey, that's for sure. And as you're exploring, just remember, those nodes are the unsung heroes, quietly working behind the scenes to build a more secure, more transparent, more efficient future.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Big thanks to all the nodes out there keeping the digital world running, and to our listeners. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.